Hey there, it's Strutter, and today is May the 2nd, 2013, and I mentioned a couple of days ago in a video that I was going to do a video about all the records that were broken in gold and silver demand so far this year. But my videos are still up, I'm not taking them down, so they're all there for you to view. I discussed each record as we approached it and beat it throughout the month, and I did a lot of different graphs and stuff like that and analysis of data throughout the month. It's all still there. I'm not going to go back over it. You can have a look at it if you want. Basically in 2013, and more specifically in April of 2013, demand for physical gold and silver bullion has never been higher. And there's almost no records left to break. We're on pace to beat them all anyhow, by huge margins in fact. So I will go over a few of the more interesting records that were broken this month, and then I'll have a look at the divergence between price and demand, which has been coined the Drutter divergence, and have a look at what the April numbers bring for that chart. First, a word about gold. You can see here the final numbers for April for gold in ounces was just under 210,000 ounces. We were projecting about closer to 240, I believe. I noticed that around the end of the month, the U.S. Mint stopped updating this number. They were updating the silver number, but not the gold. So I was wondering if they were going to move over some ounces onto the next month. And lo and behold, as soon as it clicked over to May, they added 10,000 ounces onto May. 10,000 1-ounce coins, as you can see here. 10,000 ounces doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're talking about gold, that is quite a bit. And as you can see here in March and February, 10,000 is a significant portion of a month. And these are actually very large months. If you go to, say, 2007's gold sales, you can see in May, 10,000 would have been basically the entire month. And in some months there was only 1,000, 4,000, 3,000, and so forth. So for 10,000 to show up on May, that is a significant number. And I believe it was probably left over from the previous month, but all that aside, 209,500 ounces of gold sold in the month of April. That is the record highest month of all time. There is a month, let's see here, in 2010, we can look at the gold numbers. In May, there was 190,000 ounces sold. So we are significantly above that all-time high. There is another contender for all-time high, but it's not legitimate. I'll show you here. It's 2009, and I've done a video on this already before. The number in December came out to 232,000 almost. But as you'll see, they put all of the half-ounce, quarter-ounce, and 10th-ounce numbers all in December and ignored the rest of the year. So it made their December number look massive, 231 compared to the other months, 124, 115, 115, 82, 86, and so forth. So this total is bogus. So the 2013 April total is right now the all-time highest month for gold. If indeed this 10,000 ounces of gold sold yesterday on May 1st is legitimate, that would put us on pace for a month of approximately 300,000 ounces of gold, which is going to dwarf the April numbers, so gold is definitely something to pay close attention to in May. Silver's kicking ass right now as well, with 4.1 million ounces sold last month. That makes it the highest April in history by far. You can see that fact even better on this chart here. January, February, March, and April. April's numbers are significantly higher. Here's the 4.1, significantly higher than the all-time high, which was set back in April of 2011. The graph also shows here that in January we beat the previous all-time record January, in February we beat the all-time record February, and in March we tied the all-time record March. I showed this chart earlier in the month. It shows all of the Silver Eagle sales from 2000 to 2012. Those are those blue bars. The slightly grayer blue bar here is 2013 so far. If no more Silver Eagles are sold in 2013, we will still have the 6th best year of all time. And this version of the same chart has two estimates on the right-hand side in different colors of blue. Each one is a different estimate for how many Silver Eagles will be sold in 2013. So even conservatively, we are going to certainly beat the all-time previous record, which was in 2011. And the graph we've all been waiting for. This is the divergence between silver's price and silver's demand. Of course, first here we have demand for silver. These are the sales in January, February, March, and April in different years. So, for example, here 2007, these are the number of silver eagles that were sold January, February, March, and April in that year. And as you can see, it's somewhere around the 3 million mark. Now for 2011, we were up here around 15. 2012, we were down here around 12 million, and up here in 2013, we're already well above 18. Throughout the month, we've been doing different projections for this number, and normally we were coming to about 18 or 18.1. Well, the pace accelerated toward the end of the month, and we ended up with 18.3 million total for the January through April figures. So let's now add in the price. Roughly the price chart anyway, and you can see this divergence here is even higher than it was last month. This purple line only follows the high price for each year, so this is the high that it reached in 2010, the high it reached in 2011, 2012, and this is the high it's reached so far in 2013, which is basically where we started the year at about $32 an ounce. Since then it's come down significantly, so we really could draw it this way if we wanted, showing the divergence is just getting more and more ridiculous as time goes by. So we've clearly shown using the US Mint's own data that the demand for gold eagles and silver eagles is unprecedented. It's higher than it ever has been this year, and more specifically this very month, and even more specifically this past week. If free market forces of supply and demand were allowed to have anything to say about this, obviously things would be different. But we're breaking all demand records, we're setting new records all the time, and the price continues to fall. We know it's impossible for that to go on forever, but it's possible for it to go on for quite some time. We're just going to have to keep on watching it, keep following it, and see what happens. Talk to you guys soon.